Hello, future student from next year's cohort, or whoever the freshman is that sees this. For our FYS program, we are supposed to tell y'all essentially what college life is like. So let me jump right on into it. So I realized quite quickly that college is completely different from high school as far as the workload, the amount of things you're expected to do outside of the classroom, and the way you're supposed to handle your situation. In a lot of my classes, my teachers will, lecture, they'll tell you things, they'll put a couple examples up on the board, and then it's time to go. So I've learned very early on that office hours are key. The one who goes to office hours is definitely the one who earns a higher grade because they're actually putting forth effort to talk to the teacher and to learn about what they're messing up. And also with studying in high school, I didn't really have to study. So now I've realized that the person that studies is the person that gets the grade because you can't just choose not to study and expect to really grasp all of this information when in high school you saw your teachers every day a week and now you see them sometimes only twice a week. Sometimes you can really see them for 1 3 hour class a week. So you really, really have to study outside of class. So when I need help with academic stuff, I go to the head of the diversity program, Mr. Griffin or Mr. John, because I was in a summer program with them called ISB, the Intercollegiate Summer Bridge Program, and I have just developed a bond with them, or Miss Yolanda or Miss Gabby. So I go with them and I ask them, hey, how do I learn how to study? How can I set my schedule for this week? And just all of those things. I also go to them when I need help with personal things as well, because they're also like, so it's a lot easier to talk to them because they're very great listeners in general. Um, Learning and studying is completely different in college. And I figured out the best way really by talking to Mr. Griffin and Mr. John and a little by talking to some of the counselors, but not really because they're not, it's very difficult to get in contact with them. So I figured out a little bit how to manage my time, mostly by trial and error, a lot by talking to Mr. John and Mr. Griffin. One day I literally put out I brought my schedule and I showed him all the work for the week. Mr. John, I went in his room and I like showed him all the work for the week. I was like, I need help planning out my week. And he showed me how to do that. And I've kind of been following that set. It's best to take out like a day of your week, like Sunday or Monday, just one at the beginning of the weeks, of one day at the beginning of the week, and look at what you have due for the week, look at what you're going to do, and write that out because I've realized that throughout the week, people will ask you to do certain things and they will want your time, and you may not even realize that you don't have time to give them. You'll just say yes, yes, yes. So having that laid out is really what's going to help you succeed in college. Um, I figured out what my 4 to 5 years of school would look like a little during my academic advising appointments and a lot during orientation because I knew that I wanted to be a biomedical engineer. So they kind of gave me the book, and you can see your academic track. And I knew where I was coming in at and where I was going, especially during my recent academic advising appointment where they helped me plan for my next semester. I was kind of like, hey, what are my next 4 years going to look like? And she kind of laid that out, and I decided that I wanted to do a mechanical engineering minor. And I kind of went through that with Mr. Griffin, kind of just asked him to show me what the differences are. And we take a lot of the same classes. So having that and having the same classes will make it a little bit of an easier minor to have because of because we're under the same umbrella as far as our departments are. Um, so I picked what activities or student groups to get involved in. NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, is what I'm a part of, and SHIP, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Um, and those are obviously academic societies. I chose to become a part of them also because of Mr. Griffin and because of Mr. John, and just some people that I met in the Student Resource Center in Perkins that I go to continuously. Those people have been really great friends to me, and just being able to go to the Far Regional Conference last year, a couple weeks ago, Ford Nesby has given me so many opportunities as far as research and co-ops go. So I love that. And I'm also a part of Chi Alpha, which is a campus ministry group. I kind of decided to become a part of that just a spur of the moment. I knew I really wanted to find something that was going to be outside of academics because I get so worked up with work. And so I kind of chose that because I wanted something like smaller. And as far as like picking my activities, I had my schedule done. So I looked at my schedule and say, what can I fit in here? And that's really all college is, just making sure you stay on top of things, you're on your P's and Q's, you have a schedule, and turn in your work on time. Please turn in your work on time. But yeah, you got this. Bye.